Hello, everybody, and welcome to your favorite 7 p.m. on a Thursday night along the Eastern Seaboard with one American and one Canadian live stream. I had to really think about that one. Welcome to Project Talk. If you don't know me, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, as always, is my brother from another mother, James from Print N Play.
Hello.
I feel weird. I feel weird doing this
You mean
now.
tired? You
Well,
feel
I'm
tired?
definitely tired. I should have taken a nap after work, but there's been, because of what I told you guys on Sunday with the changes in management, there's been a lot going on at work. Um, a lot of changes with the IT stuff. So, like, I've been working extra, plus, I'm in the middle of a huge project right now as far as the estimating goes. So, it's been crazy, and I should have taken a nap, but I didn't. I ducked out right after work and went to Harbor Freight and picked up my new 44-inch roller toolbox, um, which is now my second one because I have so many tools. I have so many tools. But
Don't mind me. I'm just cleaning PTG off the bed.
oh, that's nice. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna actually spend this time cleaning out my on-the-go computer bag because I have to go into the office tomorrow. I was actually already there once this week, just for a quick 15-minute check some stuff, and I was there for 4 hours.
That's how
But
it rolls.
well, yeah, it turned into all meetings. But main boss man is out tomorrow, so there will not be any distractions. I can get in, get done what I need to get done, and roll with it. So I don't know who is actually here first, but Builder's Mark gets bragging rights because he is the first one that's showing up in my chat screen. He's also the second one. Man Mike is here as well. Ollie is here. Ollie does say here that he won't be able to stay long as it's too late for me. And I know that. I know that you guys on the other side of the pond, it's going to be really hard for you guys. But I do appreciate you being here, even for that little bit. Carl Schumann has joined us. Scott McClellan is also here. I think I got everybody. I don't necessarily know that there's going to be a lot of people tonight. I mean, there's only 5 watching currently, and I think they're all actually in the chat. Because again, it's a new time slot, and we got to get everybody adjusted so that they can see.
And we do have a new program sort of thing that's going to go into place that's not quite ready for this week. We did set up an email address last week. I haven't checked it yet, though.
I did today. There was nothing in there. I did get one project, though.
Oh, yeah?
It was actually from Uncle Ron, but he sent it to my regular email address.
Oh,
He
that's
didn't
fair.
send it to the project talk with 2 T's.
He's trying to hide it from me. I understand.
Yeah, that's it. He doesn't want. And there's David Randolph throwing down 10 US dollarinos. Wrong time slot. Why do you make us suffer? Well, David, had you been here on Sunday, we told the whole story, and it was really came down to work requirements was going to hinder Sundays. So we're trying Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is obviously your time zone as well. All the cool people live in the Eastern Standard Time zone.
And there goes half our audience. Thanks,
Glenn. Yep. Half, no, like 99%. But I don't know. Well, we're gonna get by. We're gonna get by with all of this. We're gonna figure it out. If this time slot doesn't work, we'll move. But
I should send in David Randolph a picture of my super secret project. I feel like he'd get a kick out of it.
Or should probably I wait? So, yeah.
Yeah. Should I go over to the Twitters? Is he still here? First of all, sometimes he's a.
Yep. He said Eastern Standard Time is the only time zone that matters. Mark said unsubbed, unsubscribed. I gotta find. I don't know. Yep. I was gonna say I don't know if I have a David Randolph banner, but I do have a David Randolph banner.
Let's see. Where did I put my phone?
This is my lovely bag that I got from Harbor Freight. And I'm sure I bought it when I worked there, so I got a killer deal on it. It's really not the greatest bag for carrying the computer stuff, but it was cheap. I'd rather have a backpack, but it is the way it is. So I end up throwing crap in here. Like if I'm out doing a computer job and there's say an extra network cable. that's like this long. It just gets thrown in the bag. In fact, this was from Christmas lights, now that I think about it, because it's got one end cut off, but it's still a perfectly good cable otherwise. But it all just thrown in here. So, oh, I did get my meter. The meter,
The new one.
super killer deal.
Oh, break everything.
Don't break everything.
Too late.
But that did arrive, so now I got a meter for in here.
Is it? Are we twins?
Oh yeah, I haven't even cut the tape on it yet.
I was using it to.
What do you think?
I mean, it feels decent. It feels a little light for how big it is. Like it does have that slightly cheap plastic feel to it, but it does everything that I need it to, and I don't think it's going to break the first time I drop it.
Well, I don't know. It's just got some really cool features. Like the stand on the back seems to be built pretty well. The fact that the leads clip into the back, it's got a keyhole so you can hang it.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the most important one.
What's that?
Is the
flashlight?
The flashlight.
I gotta put batteries in it. But yeah, I'm glad I pulled that up that night, because with the discount, that thing was super cheap.
I haven't looked into how to test capacitors with it yet, and I've never done capacitors.
I can't remember. I used it to do the capacitors on the air conditioning.
Also, is this one of those like electrical sensor dealies?
Yeah, it should actually have initials on the top of it, like NCV or something. Maybe that's my other meter, but it's a non-contact voltage.
Yeah.
So
range 90 volts to 100 or to 1000 volts, 50/60.
Yeah, so you can stick it up against a wire or an outlet or a switch, and it'll tell you if it's hot.
Builder's Mark says they took half the parts out of it.
That's why it's so cheap.
And so light.
Well, with anything, you think about meters, like old-timey meters, and how big and heavy they were, but they don't need to be that anymore.
If David is still here, I sent you a DM on the Twitters.
So let's play a game of how many VGA and DVI cables should one carry.
I've got a drawer full of them now because I started going through stuff, and it's like every time I needed one, I ordered one, and then it was like, oh, I don't have any. Next time I need one, oh, I don't have any of those. Better order another one.
Oh, this is good that I have some of these. I may need these tomorrow. So it looks like so far 2 VGA and 2 DVIs.
Tony Ryan and Glenn Hogue have popped into chat.
Hello, Tony Ryan and Glenn Hogue. Welcome to the Thursday night Project Talk.
Tony says hi, and Glenn says greetings from Sweet Home, Alabama. I added Sweet Home in there, but like I just can't say Alabama without.
Sweet Home, Alabama. Yeah, I don't even really know what's in this bag. This is like a fun mystery thing. And then of course, there's a bunch of stuff just strewn. Is that the right word? Strewn across the bottom.
I'm gonna go with spewed instead.
Well, I was actually thinking spewed, but I didn't spew it there. I had a bag of these. These are those little stick-on things that you hook zip ties to.
Oh yeah.
I had a bag of these, but now I have a bag of these. How many BNC coaxial cables are in the box? I don't think I have any BNCs in here because I haven't worked on BNC in a while. I do have a regular coaxial cable crimper with me, and coaxial ends because of cable modems and stuff.
I've got some BNC coax for Token Ring.
I have a huge collection of T's, the BNC T's, and they're all just like stuck together. I'll find them one day and show you guys. Like it's just this map, and then there's like 2 Terminators.
I wonder how many weird cables they're gonna talk about that I have one of.
Oh, Tony Ryan said, or those weirdo USB to RJ45
Yeah.
cables that come with every UPS.
Oh,
No, to the RJ45, to the network. UPS
Oh,
to
sorry.
network.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those upstairs. And it's funny because I used to, like, I would tell customers, hey, I'm ordering you this new smart battery backup, and it can shut your machine down automatically and stuff. And they're like, nah, I don't want that. And I'd end up with all the extra cables because they didn't want the machine to shut off. And I'm like, well, when the battery goes dead, it's going to shut off anyway.
But uncontrollably.
Right. It's just going to boom.
Game over.
Yeah, I was running down to the wire tonight because I was doing some work on my own PC, not this one, my work and normal daily PC. I'm trying to put a new NVMe hard drive in it. So I'm trying to clone the old one first, and it just wasn't going well. I also have tons of these too. This is the bag of hardware that comes with monitor mounts, whether they're freestanding or wall mounts or whatever, because I don't throw hardware away. It's like, don't be a hoarder. Don't be a hoarder. Well, I can use this later.
I just want to say, with the amount of support material that I have removed from stuff over the past few weeks working on this project and that project and another project, I am strongly considering upgrading to a printer that has dual extrusion and using water soluble, not just the full supports, but like the interface layer.
Yeah.
Because
what is this? What's this? Ha 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 ha! A VNC.
It's Mr. T. He pities the fool.
VNC in my bag. And Glenn Hogue is right. Those are F connectors for the cable TV. I didn't think I had anything BNC in here. I don't know why that's in here. That's pretty funny to me.
I definitely have one of those, but I won't bother to pull it out right now. I've got the one that's got it's the black and white one with the little switch.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have one of those in my bag. The crazy part is this bag isn't that old. I don't know why. For emergency purposes. You know what? Now thinking about it, there was coaxial. There was BNC coaxial in the office building that the company is in right now. And I think that I'd pulled it out to pull a cat cable down that wall, now that I think about it. So that's probably been in this bag for 8 years. What a mess. Like, it gets out of hand so quick. 8 years. I don't think I've cleaned this out in, ever. Like, this is just a conglomeration.
The first network I ever set up was a token ring adapter. And it was just literally like the 2 token ring cards with coax run between them and terminators on either end. So there's no proper server or anything like that. This is obviously, I didn't have internet or anything back then either. Right. And it was just my brother and I was like, we wanted to play Need for Speed 3 against each other. So we go to the computer store and they're like, what's the cheapest way to do this? And they're like, you can have one of these or each of these cards for $5. We're clearing them out and we'll throw you a 30-foot cable or a 50-foot cable to go along with it. So brother and I bring them home, stick them into our Pentium 1 machines or whatever it was. Yeah, no, it was Pentium 1, like 166 or whatever.
ISA cards.
They were in fact ISA cards. Yeah. So cable in and then drill a hole down into the floor, into the crawl space on either side, run the cable up, like no jacks, no nothing, right? Just straight up make a hole big enough for the BNC connector to go through. And then fought with stuff because we had no idea what we were doing and no way to look anything up. And eventually, somehow, we got it to work.
I have a BNC Terminator.
Exactly. And you put that on one side of the T.
Yeah. Well, not this one. This is a male.
A male Terminator?
Yeah. It would go into the end.
Do you call it Arnie?
If you have a cable where you're not teed into it, you can just cap the cable that way.
Oh, I see.
I bet I could go out into the garage and within 20 minutes, produce a handful of ISA network cards that have a BNC connector on
There you go.
them. As sad as that is. But I'm not a hoarder.
So we're presently down one bathroom,
Right.
and so we have no bathtub, we have no shower. So Kay ordered an inflatable bathtub off of Amazon.
Right. You were telling us that.
Oh, I'm not used to having these conversations so close together. It just seems
Right.
like
Well,
so much would happen.
for 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, you were going to put it in the laundry room. Did you?
No, it would have just fit in the laundry room, but then like it would have taken very little to lean against something and have it pop. So
Okay.
we ended up doing
That
it.
would be bad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, it could be bad. So we ended up doing it in the kitchen because the kitchen's tile, and then surrounding it with towels so that anything that splashed out was collected. Um, and then we didn't fill it all the way because the thing is, it is larger than a regular bathtub, and I'm like looking up building specs for how much the floor can support, and it's 50 pounds per square inch, and then or per square foot. And then it's like, but it doesn't mean that like the stress point is like if you put 50 pounds in 1 square foot area, it's like it's calculated based on the room. So if you've got a a room that's 10 by 10, then you multiply by the 50 pounds. But then there's also like a single point failure point. So if it's like this much weight over this much area, it can cause I'm like, I don't know how to do the math exactly to figure this out. So we're gonna put the amount of water that would be in a normal bathtub into it, and we'll just call that good. So it's like there's the fill point, which is supposed to be like
So,
like 370 liters. We're gonna fill it to the halfway point, which is like around 185 liters, and we'll
can
call
I
it good.
throw a monkey wrench in that works?
Yeah.
Typically, where there's going to be a bathtub, they reinforce the floor to hold more weight.
Oh well. Guess maybe we shouldn't be doing that then.
How many? How many? Well, you said liters. How many gallons do you suppose it is?
Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, 8 pounds per gallon adds up pretty fast. I mean, I think if you're not getting crazy with it, as long as you're not putting a couple 100 gallons in there, you're all right.
Inflatable.
Hello, Duff. Duff has joined us. I think that's the bottom of the bag. This is kind of like Mary Poppins' bag, where stuff just keeps coming out of there and coming out of there and coming out of there. There's some zip ties down around because there's like a lip around the edge. This is the other bad habit that I have is when you cut off a zip tie and I'm not near a garbage can, I just throw it in my bag. It's a terrible habit. I should just leave it on the floor of the customer site.
Let's see.
All right, that's everything out of the bag. Now I can put it all back where it's supposed to be. The bag's got these nice little, I don't know if you can see, but it's got nice little pockets along the inside. So I have like my wiring scissors and wire cutters and strippers. I keep my strippers in here. And my punch down tool for those of you who do punch downs. But I don't really think I need to carry VGA or DVI cables. And in fact, I don't even think I need to keep those. So into the trash they went. Look at that. Progress right there. I threw something away.
Hold on 2 seconds.
Okay.
Actually, somebody's walking around in our house right now, and Keelan's supposed to be out.
Oh, well, that's fun. Makes me wish you had a remote camera. So for those out there that are Harbor Freight shoppers, which as most of you know I am, if and I don't know how active you have to be, but if you're active with Harbor Freight and then you stop being active with Harbor Freight, they will send you an email that says that they miss you. And they will offer you a coupon for 25% off anything. No exclusions, except for the couple exclusions that they put at the bottom. Obviously, you can't use it for gift cards because that would be glorious. and you can't use it for like inside track club or whatever. But otherwise, all the rest of the exclusions that normally apply, things like the Predator motors, toolboxes, all of that stuff, there's no exclusions against those. So I took the opportunity. They had sent me a coupon, and I went in. I was checking their site. I wanted another 44-inch roller toolbox because I had another top, and so I wanted another bottom, and they didn't have them in stock. Well, I went in and they actually ordered me one. Took about 2 weeks to get here, but I saved like $150. So that was nice because it's not often that you can get a coupon. Now, if you know somebody that works there, you can get in on the friends and family where they send you a coupon once a year. And I want to say it's towards the end of the year, kind of nearing Christmas, where you can get 25% off your entire purchase, which is awesome. But I don't currently have any friends that are working there. Everybody has since moved on.
I'm back.
So who is it?
It was Kay. They wrapped up early.
Well, a friendly text message would have been helpful.
Oh, well.
So I'm carrying 2 number 2 screwdrivers. That doesn't seem very efficient. I should pick up I don't have a flathead in here at all. I'm not going to put the BNCs back in here because I don't feel that I need them. I will terminate this T, however.
I am punching in calculations now to figure out what the volume is.
I also noticed that I don't have any F connectors in here. I have a whole bunch of cat connectors. So I bought these. I like the Ideal brand ones. I pick them up from Lowe's or whatever. And so I bought these ones, which are supposed to be, I don't even know, but I guess it's for the Cat 6 or Cat 45 or Cat 900, whatever they're on now. But it's got like a carrier that you have to put on first, and then you jam it in there, and then you crank. These suck. I hate them. And so I use the Cat 5e ones with great success. Great success. So I'm just going to carry on using, and I started ordering them from Monoprice. If you're not familiar with Monoprice, you're missing out. Fantastic place to get zip ties. I usually order them 8,000 to 10,000 at a time. I don't think I need to carry that many Cat 5 connections, but I mean, this bag is full. This is one of those. This is one of those. I always call it the tracker. You plug it in and it tones, and then this finds the tone. This one came from Harbor Freight. It's garbage, and it could just be this one, but it's garbage. I need to get a decent one. This I picked up at Micro Center. This is just a cat cable tester. This thing, and it actually has BNC support. Oh, I bet you that's what the Terminator's for. That's what this Terminator is for. When you hook a BNC cable to this, you put this at the other end of the cable, and it tests the cable. So that is actually going to go back in there, just in case I go back in time. And
bum 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 ba.
So, but yeah, this will do RJ45s and RJ11s. So, and it was like $5 on sale. The problem is the zipper broke on the little bag, so it just gets dropped in here.
Okay, so you're
always carry an extra blank plate.
So you're good at the engineering math. What's the maximum amount of water you would say would be safe for a non-reinforced floor?
At 8 pounds per gallon. Non-reinforced floor. How big of a room? Roughly.
It's the kitchen. I'm trying to do the math because it's also a weird shape and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to like
And
pull
is the tub / pool in the middle of the room? And do you know if there's walls under the middle of the room?
There's not walls under the middle of the room, and it's more it's within like 2 feet of the exterior wall.
Okay, so that helps because it puts
the weight more towards the
right.
Yeah, it's not the maximum sag point basically.
And can you see your floor joists? Like if you look up, can you see the floor joists? Do you know approximately their size and span?
No, I'd have to like get into the tiles to check that out.
I would I mean, figure you put 20 gallons in there, that's 160 pounds, which isn't terrible. I mean, a human, like an adult walking through the room is more weight than that, and in a smaller footprint. So, I would say easily 40, 50 gallons, and you're going to be okay.
So the overall full capacity of the thing, if I was to fill it up to the brim, is 146 gallons. That's all the way to the top.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Yeah,
that's you're almost 1,000 pounds.
And then the fill line. Let's see if the fill line is in here. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, that would be entirely too much weight. What are the dimensions of the tub?
Well, so that's what I used to figure out the overall capacity. It's the height's 23 inches, the width is 46 inches, and the length is 32 inches.
So 3 by 4, roughly 3 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah, that would be entirely too much weight. Wait a minute, that doesn't seem right.
So it's the height's 23. I guess the length would be 46, and because it's not as long as a regular swimming pool, but a regular tub, but it is not as wide, but it is slightly wider.
And you said the capacity turned out to be what?
146 US gallons.
No way. Not in a 3 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot space. I wish I had my construction calculator here, but I know I'm not bringing it in here.
Sure. I'm gonna link you to the pool, and then I obviously used the interior measurements to figure out the
3 by 2 by 4 feet in gallons. Cubic feet to gallon converter. That's what we want. So 3 times 2 times 4. That's 24 cubic feet. Yeah, it is. Like, wow, that blows my mind. That seems like way more gallons than it should be.
So then the fill line is like roughly the halfway point, and we haven't gone to the fill line yet because also it takes forever to put water into it because it's coming out of the faucet in the kitchen.
All right, so then 8. That's still, if you filled it to the fill line, that would be 720 pounds plus whomever is in it.
Yep.
That's a lot. I definitely wouldn't fill it up that far. Duff said it's fine. It's fine. Soon your bathtub will be in your basement. Is the kitchen on the first floor or second floor?
It's on the first, like above it's above the basement.
It's on the ground floor though.
Yes.
It's not extra elevated.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I would make sure that when you get in it, the water doesn't hit the fill mark.
Gotcha.
Like kind of judge it that way. Like fill it up a quarter of the way. Just put enough water in there to get clean.
I think Kay and I are talking. So basically, the other thing that happened is because there's such a temperature difference between the tub and the floor, you ended up with a bunch of condensation forming in that layer between the two. So then you got to lift it up and the floor is soaked all the way up.
Huh.
So, anyways, I think we're now talking about basically just using it to like shower off in type thing.
Yeah, just almost like using it like a shower pan.
Yep. So.
Oh, I missed some stuff going back in there. Well, I took quite a bit of stuff out of there, but that bag still seems full.
Mm.
I'm Klein, the company that makes electrician tools. They have a backpack that is it's on my desire list, but I also desire my money. So guess who is calling me right now?
Uncle Ron.
My mother.
Oh, of course.
Hi. Oh, she hung up.
As she should.
I guess I took too long to answer. It's just funny because she only calls when I'm streaming.
I'm just messaging Kate Warner.
Oh, I think she was trying to text me and called me instead. She does that. She used to butt dial me all the time. That was fun. I could spend hours listening.
And would, just to see if she said anything bad about you?
She said, "You were late. I was waiting for you, and then I left my mother. You were late, did not." What? What? Oh, she was here at 7 o'clock. What time did we start? Like 7:05, yeah?
Yeah, so I think it was 7:04. Something like that.
Well, like we don't want to set a precedence to you guys and think that because we move to a different day that we're going to be on time.
It's still the same show.
Sergio's here. He said, "Hello, everybody. Forgot the day change." Yeah, I almost did too. No, I did actually. Like I woke up this morning, went to work like I normally do. Went to work like I normally do.
You normally work?
Well, I don't go to work. I'm already there when I get up. She says she hasn't got 5 minutes to waste. I got to get a Milwaukee backpack and fit in with the Sparkies. Nope, nothing red. It's all got to be black and yellow. I'm a DeWalt guy. No Milwaukee. Milwaukee's got a really sweet hat that I want, but I won't do it because it's not DeWalt. But anyway, I was sitting at my desk. There's a certain number of things that I do every morning, like clockwork. I'm a little OCD, so I have to, check my email. I have to play Wordle every day. Today's was a little tricky.
I haven't done it in a while. Maybe I should be.
Well, and then I'm sitting there also, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to schedule this stream. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the habits of Sunday morning. When I'm eating my breakfast on Sunday mornings, I'm still going to schedule the stream for Thursday. Because we generally know, like stream to stream if we're going to miss the next week anyway.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, it's not really a surprise to us unless one of us gets sick, which at that point, we just let everybody know that it's
one
not
of us is
work.
sick.
So, Fun. So Uncle Ron did send the project for Project Talk, but I'm going to hold it until we actually start that segment. It's a neat one. It was actually a collaboration between him and Poppy Ron. It was a project that Poppy Ron had started and couldn't finish because of that printer jammed, the one that we fixed on the stream a couple weeks ago. And
It's very fitting that he finished it.
Uncle Ron used that printer and finished it out. Yeah. So neat print too. I really like it. Did get a little bit of work done with Christmas lights this week as far as taking stuff down, but the fatigue is still very much affecting me. It is not nearly as bad, but it's definitely still there. And then again with my current workload, tomorrow I have to go in and reroute network from one workstation to another because my cohort is moving. I don't know if I told that part of the story, but when they let the member of upper management go last Friday, the owner of the company was explaining it to the employees on why they made the choice. We work for a very transparent company. Like, the bosses don't hide anything. They do not live by the philosophy of, do what I say because I'm the boss. Like, you are always welcome to question authority, I guess is a good way to put it, except for the guy that just recently left. That was a no-no with him, even though I did it anyway because I'm a pot stirrer. So as the owner of the company was explaining everything on, why they made the choice that they made, at the end, he says, does anybody have any questions? And my cohort raised his hand and they called on him and he said, does anybody have dibs on his office?
Hey, you told that story on Sunday too.
Did I?
Yeah, this is weird, right?
So, well, I just didn't know how far I went into. I probably told more of that whole story than I should have, but I was so excited. So where this individual is sitting currently is at the reception desk, which is a built-in. There's like a little lobby in the building. Like, you walk in and you're in this little vestibule, and it's got the little slidey window. We don't use any of that, but it was there when we got there. And he's been sitting at that desk. So to put it into perspective, he sits here at this desk. He's got the owner's office right here, the manager who is no longer with us. Both the bathrooms are right here. The office manager's right here, and project management's right here. So all these people yelling back and forth at each other all the time, like, hey, I need this. Hey, can you tell me what this is? And he's right in, like, he's literally in the middle of the room. And from the moment they put him there, I kept saying, this is a terrible idea. You have to move him somewhere else. This is but the way the building is laid out is real hodgepodgey. So they just left him there. They were going to actually move him into that vestibule, which I don't think that's got any air conditioning in there anyway, but this worked out. So I, as soon as I got word that he was moving in there, I hopped on to publicsurplus.com, one of my favorite websites to hang out on, and went to the University of Florida, go Gators. And
hey, Walter,
I bid on a desk and got him a really nice, I forget the brand of it, but it's like a $1,200 desk. Used now, but I won it for $50. So they went and picked that up from the university today and got it into the office. So tomorrow I got to go reroute the network, and yeah.
That's tomorrow's trip.
That's tomorrow's trip. After I take my kid to lunch, because I take my kid to lunch every Friday.
That's what you were saying.
So he delivered a sermon last night at church at youth, which is a huge step for him because he's a little bit introverted and antisocial like his dad. But he got up there and delivered a sermon and did a fantastic job. The only thing I told him, I said, you should have had a bottle of water. You could tell your mouth was dry. and he said, I had one. I had it at my feet, and I forgot it was down there. So, but yeah, he did a bang up job. I didn't get to go. I was home with Zach, but I got to watch it on the YouTubes. Yes, and 1 week warning: if you have not watched
that 90 show,
that's not that 90 show. Next week we're going to talk about it. So if you haven't,
I keep watching to see if it's going to get picked up for a second season, because I felt like since it was the #1 streaming thing on Netflix for the first bit, that often they'll be like early, be like, yeah, we're doing another season. But
yeah, but everything new on Netflix is always the top thing on Netflix.
That's true.
Until something else new comes, and then it. I mean, honestly, have you ever noticed that? Like Wednesday, when Wednesday was released, all of a sudden that was the top.
Although to be fair to Wednesday, it like broke a bunch of their records as well.
Yeah,
it wasn't just the #1 for the time being, or whatever.
It's a good show. I liked it.
Yep.
So, but
oh, check out. So I was pulling apart old projects and salvaging stuff, and then tossing the leftovers. Check out this old AMD board that they made the heater block, and it kind of looked like a V8 or V6 or whatever.
Oh yeah. I think I got some of those.
I don't even remember which one this is, but I was more just loving that the copper going into the aluminum, and
yeah. So I had a couple of heat sinks, CPU heat sinks that had like a copper core, like a big solid copper core inside of an aluminum heat sink.
Yeah.
It didn't have the pipes. Like that copper core laid on the CPU and then dissipated through the aluminum. And I was doing, what was I working on? I was welding on some pipe that was it kept blowing out. Like every time I go to weld it, it was just blowing out. And I used my hydraulic press to press that copper core out of the middle of that heat sink, and then I used that copper inside the pipe to back the weld, and it allowed me to fill the weld. There's a lot of D's in that, without blowing it out.
This was a higher end board back in the day. It's got dual gigabit Ethernet on it.
Look at that.
As well as 6-channel audio and coax optical. It's got eSATA.
Yeah. There's parallel. Toss link.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think this one's DDR. It's the A8R32 MVP Deluxe, which is an Asus board, and it would have been it's not SLI. What was ATI's one called?
Oh, no, I can't remember.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, and I can Google in 2 seconds, but I'm trying to think of it on my own.
Yeah, it's the Betamax to VHS, SLI, and the other one.
Yep.
So
also,
now, is that an AGP slot?
No, dual PCIe.
Okay.
And so here's the weird thing. There's your 4 SATA ports, and then there's another one up here, Crossfire.
Oh, Crossfire.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. Do
you see the extra SATA port up there?
Yeah.
And it's labeled SATA RAID 2.
Probably because of it having the eSATA port, those two are probably on the same controller.
They could be.
On the same chip.
I wonder why it's called RAID 2 on the board, though. Because none of the other ones are labeled as RAID. It's a Realtek chipset for the Ethernet, and it's got dual FireWire headers as well.
Wow.
And a total of 8 USB ports available. 4 built onto the board, and then 4 more
via
but
headers. No USB 3. So, let's talk about USB.
I can't even guarantee it's USB 2, to be honest. No, it probably was. Never mind.
I would think by that.
USB 2 has been around for quite some time.
Yeah, USB 1 is old. But have you noticed a new trend now when you get electronic devices that are USB-C connections, that you're getting a C to C cable and not an A to C cable?
I have been noticing that. Yeah, I
only have one C port on my computer, and it's on the back. It's on, and
Yep.
I mean, typically maybe that's not an issue, but my computer's around the corner on a rack. So it's around the corner in Iraq.
Hi.
It's a big corner. Yeah, so I ordered an external enclosure for NVMe drives so that I could clone this drive without opening the computer first, because I have a secondary header in the computer, so I could have just put it in, but for like $24. And it's a nice little enclosure, but it came with a C2C cable. And it's like, okay, so now I have this thing literally like hanging off the back of my computer on the rack mount.
Womp womp.
And then I know I told you guys the story about saving money on my Comcast bill, Xfinity, by getting a cell phone.
Yep.
And that Samsung cell phone showed up with a C2C cable.
I used a USB C to C cable today. I have a 22-inch monitor that's on a vertical stand that's meant to hold 2 monitors stacked because I didn't have enough room on my work desk for side by side. And I figured, well, top to bottom is better than nothing. Except for my second monitor, it doesn't have a VESA mount to attach it to it.
Oh, no.
So I sat the second monitor on the base of the 2 monitor stand, which is slightly tilted, so it doesn't want to stay there. And then I used a USB C to USB C cable to tie it to the back of it so that it would stop sliding forward.
Good use for it.
I went through my cables and I was like, this is well, so I was like, I could 3D print something for it maybe, but I need to be able to use it now. I could go get cable ties, and then I was like looking like, huh, which one of these cables is the least useful? Oh,
Well,
USB-C to USB-C.
I'm sure that we're going to get to the point where the wall warts and stuff are all C and not A anymore and blah, blah,
Yep.
blah. We'll get there. But it's like they're skimping out so bad. Like if you're not going to send me the wall wart, don't
Yep.
send me a C to C cable. Send me a cable that I can use. And the other issue that I have is USB hubs. I have had an influx of USB hub failures. They make a 3 amp 5 volt USB-C. Yeah, but I don't want to buy something else. They need to give it to me, Mark. Yeah, I've had an influx of USB hub failures at work.
That's weird.
I mean, I had one fail on me. I thought it was a bad cable. Turned out to be a bad. No, first I thought it was a bad USB thumb drive, but it turned out, and then I thought it was a bad cable. It turned out to be a bad hub. But yeah, I've had 3 USB hubs fail in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. It just seems odd. 2 powered and 1 non-powered.
You know what I just realized? I tore apart another project today, and I was doing it in a hurry. This is the motherboard for. I did not.
Oh, then you didn't do it in a hurry.
This is the motherboard for that one.
Motherboard. There's a lot of dust on that.
Yeah, but do you notice anything about it?
It's the same.
2 projects, 2 completely separate projects with boards from completely different places that I picked up. Like I picked up from somebody who was like tossing them out or whatever. I just realized that I think they are. I gotta check the. Oh, I can't even read that because there's so much dust on it. Yeah, AR832 MVP Deluxe.
Mark, I'm looking to see if I have one to throw in the mail. No, don't mail me a wall wart. It's okay. I appreciate it, but I'll get one if I need it that bad. I'll just buy some of those A to C adapters. Woo! Oh, let's talk about that thing, because I've been looking at buying one of those. Can you hear me, even though your mic is up? Okay. When you get done dusting, that created quite a cloud. Yeah, that looks better.
It took pretty much all of it off.
So I mean, obviously I'm old school. I know I could leave the word school off of there, but I've been buying these for forever. I mean, I used to get them for free because the company paid for them, way back in the day. But now I have to pay for them myself. So I've been looking at one of those, but those aren't cheap either.
I forget how much this one was. I did like a little bit of research and started going through user reviews and stuff like that to find one where it wasn't just like, oh yeah, somebody obviously paid $10 to get the good. Oh my god, why did I do that so close to my setup over here?
Well, you got a duster. You can dust it back off. I'm going to mute my mic and we'll just have 2 hours of silence. Well, we're actually almost to the end of the first hour. That's unbelievable. The time has flown. You guys have been great tonight. A bigger audience than I expected. Like I didn't expect such a big audience tonight, being that it was new. So I'm glad that you guys could hang in there. And I miss the overseas people, the guys on the other side of the pond. But so okay, so like you did the research to find one that was.
I don't remember. I don't remember what I paid for this one though, but I'm gonna bring it up for a sec.
Yeah, because like I was looking, and it seems like the decent ones are about $60, which compared to Can Air, that isn't much. I just have a hard time choking down $60 for a hairdryer. There's a very joke in there, folks.
Let's see. I paid $39 Canadian for this one.
Oh, that's not bad, because that's only like $8 US.
Yeah, it's got a 33,000 RPM motor in it. It's rechargeable, and guess what? It uses USB-C.
Yeah, that's the other thing that burns me now too, is anything that's coming out now with micro USB. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse that they're still putting micro USB.
I'll say that. So like, I don't think it's quite as good as straight up compressed air.
Like canned air, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll take, like, you saw it blow all that stuff out of there, but it does leave that like slightly fine layer of dust behind.
Yeah, but so does the canned air, unless you hit it with a soft brush.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
If you pick up just like a cheap, like,
and it comes with
brush. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so that comes with it. Just nice little, and yeah, if you brush across it while you're doing it, it takes care of almost all of it.
Yeah. Mark said from the shop you could run a PEX line and make an airline port there in the studio. I actually have an airline right outside the door, but it's not so much here. It's really upstairs in the house.
I used to have I bought a I forget how many gallon, I guess probably like 2-gallon compressed air tank, and it had a shoulder sling, and then it had the air gun. So I'd fill it, and then you could carry it with you, and it would be enough to clean out a couple dozen computers before you'd have to refill it.
Interesting, because I have a portable air tank, and I want to say it's like a 20-gallon.
This one was definitely smaller than that. The tank was like this big.
Yeah, no, mine's like 2.5 feet by like this big and round.
Yeah, it was. Mine was small enough that you could snap on shoulder straps onto it, and I think I paid $80 for that one. But then you had tons of pressure. It would run smaller tools and stuff like that as well. Right. So,
Chris Lane popped in and said that he is so weird. I don't know why he would say that, but.
Yep. I'm not disagreeing with him though.
I found mushroom jerky at Publix tonight. It was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I can't even imagine why you'd want to even try that. Oh, hey, there's Bob Carnes as well. So something I seen on this is completely just because we do that off the rails. Something I seen on Instagram was if you dip Oreo cookies in sour cream, it tastes like cheesecake. And the dude, like, it was one of those, like, where somebody said it and the guy's like, are you serious? And then he did it and he's like, oh my gosh, like.
If you don't dip Oreo cookies in sour cream, though, they taste like Oreo cookies.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes they taste like, I forget, what was the brand of Oreo that came before Oreo that just never got as famous? Yeah, they taste. Sometimes they taste like Hydrox.
Yeah, I grew up on Hydrox cookies. And then when we moved to Florida, we have grocery stores here called Winn-Dixie. I don't know how far out they go. But they had a cookie that was called the Big 60. It was a bigger pack. It was 3 rows of 20 cookies. And like they were like, I can't remember if it was chocolate, vanilla chocolate, or like if you got 2 rows of vanilla or whatever, or you could get the one that was chocolate on one side and vanilla on the other, like this. But they were definitely the cheaper alternative. And Mike said, now I want Oreos. Chris Lane said, and sour cream. We got to try it. Like maybe we'll start doing some of that, like live. We'll try different weird things.
So here's what we need to do. We need to restructure slightly the layout of our stuff. We need to come up with what because like so far we're going to have a catch up section, right? So these are always going to start off with a chat and asking people how they're doing, all that type of stuff. I like how we're talking this, like we're playing this in front of everybody. You know, people can weigh in too.
We're always been transparent though. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Always.
So, and we're going to have a section where we cover projects that we've seen and projects that have been emailed into us and stuff like that.
Right.
What other sections do we need to incorporate into this? And then obviously there's always going to be the closeout at the end, because I think it would be cool for us to have title cards that change to show which section we're in. So as we move from section to section, as people are joining, they'll know, oh, we've done this already. And what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, one of the YouTube channels that I watch, I don't want to drop any names, but Fab Rats. Those guys are awesome. They're out in Utah. But
dropping names of channels that you watch like it's some sort of privilege.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, at the point that I watch, I mean, I guarantee they just gained 2 subscribers just right now. It may have nothing to do with me saying Fab Rats, but no. So it's it used to just be Paul, but now it's him and his brother working in the shop doing just miscellaneous automotive projects, and they get a lot of packages sent to them because they're amazing. And so a lot of it is like they're big on jerkies. So people send them these weird jerkies from all over the world, and then they just try. I mean, it's not live, but they're just trying them, and like sometimes they eat them and they're like, "Whoa, that's awful," or what, like. So that's fun. So send me free food and I'll try it live on the air. Just keep the sugar to a minimum because I can't eat much of that.
I watch this guy. He's a tech YouTuber on YouTube called Dawid, Dawid, and his tech channel is called Dawid Does Tech Stuff. And I think he's got like 500,000 or 600,000 subscribers now. So he's done some, small channel. He keeps asking to come on here, and we keep saying, look, you got to get to the mill. It's we only got so much space, and we're the best YouTube channel there is, and if you want to be part of it, you got to be good too. So, anyways, he did a video 5 months ago where he's talking about how when you're a tech YouTube channel and you hit around 5,000 subscribers, you start getting emails from companies, and they're all like, "Greetings, your channel has brought me great joy." And the thing that would bring me to, I can't say it because it's slightly NSFW, but the thing that would bring me the greatest joy is if you would review this product that we have. And he goes, I usually do the thing and politely ignore them. But then I thought, why? So his wife runs the email, and he's like, so I told my wife to pick 5 products that we got emailed over the course of a week, and then we're going to bring them on and review them. And that's it. So it was a video of him just taking these 5 things. He's like, and it's like, the first thing is like, it was a USB hub with a built-in M2 slot. And he's like, it's $100 USB hub. And then the second thing is a personal, the second thing was a personal air conditioner. The third one was a mini computer. The fourth one was, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyways, he's pretty. It's like that slight dry comedy. He still does cover things properly, and not everything's a joke. But, anyways, yeah, the product review stuff was pretty funny.
Yeah, which like, I mean, I'm sure you do too, but I get them all the time. Like, oh, we were browsing around on YouTube and found your channel, and we really enjoy, and then insert random video title here.
Yep.
So I mean, like, obviously they were really on your channel because they did get your video title, And then they're like, we feel that you would be a perfect fit for. I got one that was it was like chocolate and handbags or something. Like it was something like completely screwy. So usually what I do, I have a quick text that I throw in there, and pretty much it says that we would love to work with you and review your product of insert whatever it is here.
Yep.
Well, actually, it says obviously you never really watched my channel, or you'd realize your product doesn't actually fit in with the subject of our channel. But we would love to review your product. We require a $1,000 non-refundable review deposit. So if you'd like to go forth with that, let me know and I'll send you my payment information.
And you never hear back.
Nobody's ever paid me the $1,000
or replied to that, probably.
Well, yeah, no. Well, I mean, a lot of times, even like there's been a lot of like I get probably a 3D printer a month offer, and then I reply to it, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, that it's already full. Like, we already have enough reviewers."
Yep.
And it's like, well, I just got the email 5 minutes ago. How many people did you send it out to? Like.
I was getting them for a while where it was like, we've put one aside for you to review, and it's like I email back and then they like respond with a link to their Kickstarter campaign, like, oh, you can get the information here, and then they stop responding to emails, and it's like, is your strategy to get me to look and be like, oh, I should back that on Kickstarter, I should check it out, because like, well, if so,
even more than that, you go look at the Kickstarter, then you start telling this story, and you're like, the PDQ printer, there isn't really one of those, right?
Wait, hold on. Hi, Brian. You said it all in caps, so I'm going to continue to listen and talk. I just got to grab my screwdriver kit.
Okay. But so yeah, they're just hoping that you're going to mention it in a video.
Yeah.
Even that they had reached out to you and you were looking at getting one. It's free advertisement. It costs them nothing to send that email.
It's free real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, everything hurts.
Adam said he goes into every review with the assumption that it's crap, but that's a beautiful way to do it. I mean, if you go into a review product like, that
it needs to impress me. I don't want to start off previously impressed and then have to, work my way down.
Right. Yeah. Well, and like, so you get a free 3D printer and you're like, oh yeah, so I don't want to say anything bad about this. Nope. No, that's not how I work. The Tina printer that I have, the little tiny one, which that's going to soon live on Zach's desk.
The Tina Turner?
The Tina 2. Which that one came with a fun story because they were going to send it to me and then there was like a 6-month delay. Turns out that the injection molds for the casing were being transported to the injection mold company, and the vehicle was in an accident and it damaged the molds and they had to have them all remade.
You knew.
At least that's the story that they told. It's still fun either way. But that little printer, like I went into it looking at it like this thing is a toy and it's super slow. I would show you the vase that it printed, but it's still on the shelf upstairs. But it was it was like about this big. It was just a little vase and it took like 14 hours.
Yeah, just go get it.
It is terribly, terribly slow. I can go get it if you want me to go get it. I'll be back in about 53 minutes.
Is that how long? Oh, that's how long's left. Oh no, not even. Yes. Sorry, I'm so used to us ending at a 30. So I look at the
30 mark.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, that took time to adjust because we used to do 4 to 6, and then we did 4:30 to 6:30, and now we're 7 to 9. So I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how this works out.
I will say numbers so far look very similar to our Sunday stream. However, I think chat's a little more active, to be honest.
Chat is definitely active. They're lighting up. So, and Brian did tell us that he would not be able to be here before 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. Boom, there he was. So.
Hello, Mr. James Cameron. We love your video, Avatar: The Way of Water, and would like to send you a 3D glasses for your review. Man, I wish I had
good ones, the paper ones with the red and blue lenses in them.
I own a set of plastic, like decent quality plastic 3D glasses
have a set of those too.
that are still, but they're the same, the red and the blue and the red.
Yeah.
And I have totally. So we have a 3D TV, but we also had a projector in the basement for the longest time. And I totally had a thing that would allow you to take those movies and convert them to work with the red and the blue glasses, and
Oh,
we'd watch them
really?
in 3D on the TV down here. Yeah,
Nice.
VLC player allows you to do the merge back of it once you've done the conversion, so that it'll play them
Interesting.
properly. And
Yeah,
you know
because
what? It wasn't.
we still have a 3D TV. In fact, it's in Xander's room.
Ours is now in our bedroom because we replaced it with a 4K Amazon TV because it was ridiculously cheap, and we are like, well, even if it lasts us a year for the
Well, and
$600
we
or
replaced
$500
ours
we paid for
because
it.
the network jack got it knocked out the smart portion of the TV when we got hit by lightning a couple years ago. So they
Right.
paid for a replacement. Well, it still plays as a TV, and the kids use Roku's.
Yep.
So like that.
We've ended up putting Fire. So the TV is a Fire TV, so we didn't put a Fire TV onto it yet, but we're using Fire Sticks, and honestly, like, I don't care if a TV I buy is a smart TV at this point because I'd rather go with the box. They last longer, and you're only out the $50 to replace it if they
Yeah,
start
because
shutting
they're
down
technically
services.
upgradable by buying a different one.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you spend all this money on a smart TV. I want to say it's that one. It's the one that's in Xander's room, and one of the big advertising gimmicks. Now, I worked at Best Buy in-home theater when I bought that TV, and one of the big advertising gimmicks on that TV was that it was upgradable. Like the smart portion of that TV was upgradable with this box. You took a cover off the back of the TV, and you plugged this extra computer in it, and it made it better. Later on when it overgrew. Well, by the time that TV outgrew the ability, like you'd turn on the smart hub, and you'd have to wait for it to download into the RAM. So like you couldn't get into the smart hub for like 3 minutes, and then finally it would load the smart hub. So I went looking for they had discontinued them like 2.5 years prior to that.
So the big selling feature, you never actually got to use it for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like by the time that you needed it, they no longer made it. And of course you could still find them, but they were ridiculously expensive. And I think I paid, with my discount, I paid just over $2,000 for that TV. That's that 60-inch.
We had a 40. You'll know exactly which brand it is when I tell you the size. We had a 47-inch TV.
Insignia. No, Dynex made a 47.
Oh, it is an LG. I thought LG was the only one that did 47.
LG made the screens for Dynex, so that's probably why that happened. But no, and then when the TVs got hit, Black Friday rolled around. We went to Best Buy. They had a 65-inch TV for like $800, and tech spec wise, it was still better than what we were replacing. It just wasn't 3D because there was no more 3D TVs.
Yep.
And I got home and I hung that thing on the wall and I looked at it. And then I went in and looked at the 55 hanging in my bedroom. And I said to Chrisella, I said, let's go back to Best Buy. I want another one of those. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yep, we're going to go buy another one.
So did you?
Yep. So I have the same TV in my great room that I have in my bedroom.
You have the same TV in your great room that you have in your okay room.
But, well, I mean, I watch more TV in the bedroom than I do. And I almost never watch TV out in the great room. Like, I'm always doing stuff. The only time I watch TV is when I go to bed. I lay there and, like read the internet for an hour. That allows her time to fall asleep. And then I can turn, because she has to have the TV on to fall asleep.
Oh, yeah, I know what that's like.
First world problems, I know.
Okay, well, we don't do the TV anymore. For a while, she would have like music playing or whatever. Now it's we just have a oh, don't fall.
A white noise generator.
It fell. We have a box fan.
Yeah.
So.
Well, see, I bought her that bed fan a couple years ago, which if you have a wife that suffers from hot flashes, do yourself a favor, buy a bed fan. Oh my gosh, that thing was a godsend for her. But so that thing, like when that thing's running, it's relatively loud, but she likes to concentrate on whatever's on the TV. And then if I turn on something, like I was watching the Barrett-Jackson auctions the other night, and it was causing her to not be able to fall asleep. Like she would start to doze off, and then the auctioneer would start in, and it would wake her back up.
Snap her right out of it.
Yeah, so I have to be careful what I watch.
Yep.
But right now I'm on a hook of watching Last Man Standing, because I never watched it when it was actually on.
That's with Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim the Tool Man.
There's a story that came out about him this week.
What's that?
There's a story that came out about him this week.
Oh, I didn't see it.
He apparently exposed himself to Pamela Anderson when she was on the show, Home Improvement.
Oh, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yikes. I guess she came out of her dressing room and he was in the hallway wearing a robe, and he said something about, and he like opened the robe and flashed her and then covered back up and then said, I saw you naked. I figured it was only right that you see me naked. I was like,
that's actually pretty funny.
I don't think he would do that today. But yeah.
Well, no, because we live in a cancer. We live in a cancel culture now. Like, you don't want to do anything. Oof.
I mean, it's not my taste of a joke. I will say that, but yeah.
No, I wouldn't go winging my junk out to somebody, but that is actually kind of funny because pretty much everybody has seen Pamela Anderson naked. But Tony Ryan said, "I'm listening to two guys on YouTube trying to put me to sleep right now."
Rockabye and good night. Are your printers printing spaghetti?
Now you're thinking all about it. You better get up and check. Bob Carn said that story came out in her book and he denied it. Well, of course. I mean, but it just, there's so much. I mean, and not to say that these things didn't really happen, but it's like these people are coming forward and it's like 40 years later, and then it just destroys the career of somebody who's, even if they did it 40 years ago, they've been a normal person in society for 40 years. Everybody makes mistakes. I've done some terrible things in my past, but you'll never know about them until I write my book.
You just been waiting to write your book.
Anybody is going to tell on me, it's going to be me.
And you're going to cash in on it, I know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I went and picked up my new toolbox today, and they put it in the back of the truck with a forklift, just like they did the first one that I bought 100 years ago. I don't even remember when I bought that. It was a long time ago.
75 years in the past.
They're buried in Glenn's backyard. Let's don't go there, James and Glenn. I got a 2-day print on the machine. So yeah, they put it in the back of the truck with a forklift, and he pushed it in just far enough for me to put the tailgate up. I strapped it down, drove home, no problem. So I get home and I look at the side of the box. Sorry. It's I want to say it was 150 kilos or 168 kilos. So like 300 to 350 pounds, somewhere in that range. I think it was like 330 something when I did the conversion. So I kind of took a couple minutes and thought, all right, how am I going to do this? And then I thought, screw it. And I just put my hands underneath where you put the forklift, and I picked it up like this and carried it over and set it down. Yeah, getting 330 pounds of anything out of the back of the truck, mainly, the bed of that truck is so high up off the ground anyway. So like my hydraulic table wouldn't reach up high enough. And even if it did, I was not strong enough to slide that on the truck bed. It's got spray and bed liner, so it grabs pretty good. And then the way that the pallet was made, it was like a leg at each end and one in the middle. So even if I would have been able to get it to the hydraulic table, it would have been tipsy. So actually, that's all I'm going to tell you, the whole story. That's all you get. I filmed taking it out of the back of the truck. So you can watch for that on an upcoming episode on Fun King Lodge.
Oh, you stole the name, did you?
No, but I'm really seriously thinking about it.
Here's a question to people that are in chat right now. So I disassembled. I had built a pin MAME cabinet at one point. Do you know what a pin MAME cabinet is?
I know what a MAME cabinet is.
So you can probably guess what a pin MAME cabinet is.
Pin like PIN?
Yeah. Pinball.
Oh, okay.
So you've got a surface that's like this. You got another one that's up here, and it does the score and stuff. And they've built pinball engines, and then they do the same thing like they do with MAME, where they download the program from the EPROMs and stuff from the EPROMs in the actual pinball cabinets, and then they build virtual devices on.
So it's a screen.
Yeah.
So it's all digital. Like it's not a.
It's all It's all digital.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can get fancy with them. You can put solenoids and stuff into it, and it does, like, the programs actually have interfaces to fire off solenoids and stuff like that. So you can get a cabinet that shakes and moves. And yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And the effects are pretty good, and the actual physics engines that they've built are pretty decent. Anyways, it's been staying for 5 or 6 years without getting used, and that was actually where one of those boards came from. I didn't have all the parts to put it back together, and we've got this NIM bin, or this garbage bin, out in the front, and I'm like, I'm gonna rebuild one of these at some point, but like that one was a prototype. When I built it out of particle board, it was never meant to be a permanent thing. Anyways, I pulled the screen out of it, but there is, I don't know if it'll show up in, oh yeah, there, you can kind of see it. There's a scratch across the screen. Yeah. Anybody have any ideas how I could like clean that up, if it's even possible?
And I'm assuming that's an LCD.
It is, in fact,
not a plasma. So it's plastic. It's not glass.
Yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
Now, I guess it's possible that scratch is just in the polarizer, in which case I might be able to peel off the polarizer and put a new one on it. I haven't powered it. First of all, it may not even work anymore. The only thing I have is 99% alcohol down here, and I recently found out that 99% alcohol can actually destroy the surface layer of a screen.
Interesting.
I've actually probably damaged multiple screens and thought that it was just residue, and then like it's not bad when it's when the screen's on and you're using it and the light's not hitting it. And I was always like, oh, I'll just use Windex to clean it. And it's like, turns like, no, it can damage the surface. It's not necessarily super visible when you're using it, but it does give you this like smoked looking effect on the front. I guess I should plug this in before I even worry about it and
Tony
see if
Ryan
works.
said motorcycle face screen plastic polish will make it semi disappear.
I also don't have the shell for it anymore, so I don't even know if it's something I'm going to use for anything yet. But let's find out.
I got to get caught up in the chat, boy. It's just rolling. I'm going to ignore some of these people. Tony Ryan said, "Thank goodness we didn't have YouTube and video cameras when I was growing up. You have no proof." Oh, isn't that the truth, man? Like just some of the dumb stuff we did, and it was never on video. Thank God. Yep. Duff said, "Jam it in reverse and nail the brakes." Not good for a $600 toolbox. And it wouldn't like just slide out either. It would dump over. That would be just terrible. I'm going to ignore Mark and Adam because that's actually how I did it. Tom Lama is here, and he said, the weekend's over already? What? Did I Rumpelstiltskin the whole weekend away? Can't be Sunday already. No, the good news is we're just rolling into the weekend, Tom. You didn't miss it yet. You got one more day, and then, pow, we're into the weekend.
One more day up in the canyon.
Mad Mike said, hammer? I guess that would fix your screen problem.
Like MC?
Tony Ryan said plastic polish. Yeah. McGuire's makes a plastic polish too, but I don't know how well it's going to do on a scratch. I guess it depends on how deep that scratch is.
I'm going to see how well it works first and like decide because it's kind of well, first of all, if it's not super noticeable when the screen's on, I'm not going to bother to do anything with it. If it is noticeable, then it's kind of, I've got nothing to lose. I just had the power supply for this machine, and
I get to
it's
build a
gone.
new computer this weekend, and I'm kind of excited. I don't get to build them very often anymore.
I built a new computer recently. It was fun and challenging.
Well, I figure I'm going to take this opportunity to teach Xander how to do it. I mean, it's not like it used to be in the olden days. I would like to look around because somewhere around here, I had an old 486 board when they still had like the 5 million jumpers that you had to set.
Yep.
When you had to set IRCs and stuff on everything. Or,
Yep.
sorry, IRQs.
IRQs.
Yeah, not.
IRCs.
Um,
No, that's ICQ.
oh,
IRC
that's
is
ICQ.
you're thinking of Merck. IRC.
Yeah, there you go. MIRC. Yep. But yeah, I just think it would be fun for him to see that. But yeah, we're gonna put together a new PC for work, and
There's
it's really
so
it's
good.
getting to the point where you can buy them already built, cheaper than you can buy the parts and build them yourself. But I like to have the control over exactly what I'm putting in there. So,
Well, shoot, that's not the power supply for this. Where did that power supply go?
and I'm also going to do some upgrades to my machine inside.
Didn't you just do upgrades?
Well, that motherboard and processor that I got through Scott Hack Monkey is working fantastic, and that deal, holy cow, you just can't beat that deal. I'm sorry that I couldn't have bought 10 of those, but I went 32 gigs of RAM, which is a lot.
Yep.
But when you edit big videos,
Yep.
it's not enough. So I'm actually upgrading to 64 gigs of RAM. I'm doubling my hard drive, my main C drive, from 500 gig to a terabyte.
Oh, you're gonna use up a terabyte quick too. I just bought a USB 3 5 terabyte external drive.
Well, I have mechanical drives in there as well. So like my documents, desktop, all that's over on the secondary drive.
Oh, okay, yeah. My main drive is a 1 terabyte M2 drive.
Yeah, I'm only using about half of my 500 gig. I just wanted to get a little more space and a faster drive. I went with the Western Digital Black, the one that is getting all of the crazy rave reviews. So
I can't say as I'm fully up to date on reviews, but
Mad Mike said, teach him how to partition an MFM or RLL drive. I don't think I have any of those anymore.
I would also say more important than teaching him how to partition it would be teaching him how to park it before he shuts it down.
Yeah.
These kids are spoiled these days with just being able to click start, shutdown, or just leaving their machines on all the time, or just turning them off and having them actually work still.
Yeah, no, all of our machines stay on. But Tony Ryan said, for your heavy load, that's why I bought a Harbor Freight electric hoist. That with 3 12-foot long 2x4s make a nifty derrick to get a 500 pounds out of the truck. So I don't know if I've told this story, but I actually have intentions on putting a 2-ton bridge crane in the bay where the lift is. So next time I do a live stream from out there, I'll kind of walk through and show you why I did some of the things I did, which was intentional because of the bridge crane. So like wiring the lift and stuff had to be done a certain way because the bridge crane is actually going to go over the top of the lift. And my whole thing is like I would like to be able to pull an engine with the bridge crane and then take it all the way around to the back. Like you could take the engine out and put it in the back of the truck in one shot, So yep. As I get older and more handicapped, which is pretty much a daily thing for me, it really just screams that I need it more and more. But with steel prices the way they are, nope, not yet.
Perfect. Well, the screen still works. That's something.
Mike said life problems. Remembering useless old technology fixes when you can't remember where you put your glasses. Well, and that's the crazy thing is like I have a hard time remembering yesterday, but I can tell you what I did, 30 years ago.
65 years in the past.
Is the drive... Brian, are you asking about my new drive? The new drive is an NVMe. But so is the one that's in there. So unfortunately, you missed the first half of the stream where I was talking about I bought an external enclosure so I could clone one to the other. It was giving me a little bit of fits. So I just left it. I don't even know what it's doing now. It may be burning the house down for all I know.
Burning down the house. I think I've brought this up before, and I think you've told me you haven't. Have you ever seen the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley?
The name is very familiar. Give me a rundown on it.
So it was a movie that was released in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's a mostly accurate telling of the starts of Microsoft and Apple, and basically how Microsoft was able to create Windows from an Apple product.
I want to say that I've seen that. Yes.
The guy that played is Noah Wiley played Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs didn't love the movie but did like the way, like how well Noah Wiley portrayed him. So at the what's the Apple thing called, the yearly convention they do?
I don't.
Anyways, Apple does. Anyways, Steve Jobs hired him to come out for the first 5 minutes and do the address, pretending that he was just straight up Steve Jobs. But anyways, the movie was good and it's quite entertaining. You know that picture of Bill Gates' mugshot that was floating around the internet?
Right.
They tell the story of how and why that picture, how and why he ended up in prison and with a mugshot being taken. And it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, Xerox was the originator of, and not only that, also the mouse. And they do tell that story in there as well. They do talk about the Xerox part.
my uncle, who is no longer with us, he's been gone for some time now, but
I just want you to know that I want to make a joke about, he stopped watching the stream, but out of respect. But then I told the story, or the joke anyways.
He never watched the stream. He's been gone way longer than that.
I broke your train of thought.
Yeah, no, I was looking at my movie database to see if it's in my collection, but it is not. He called me, and we were just chatting one time, and he said he always played the stock market, and he goes, "Hey, there's this company that you should really think about investing in." And I'm not a stock guy. I don't buy stocks. I mean, even today, as stupid as that is, I don't invest in the stock market. But he's like, this company, they're up and coming. They're going to be huge. And I'm
huge.
Like, well, and I'm like, who is it? And he goes, it's this company called iOmega, and they make a floppy drive that holds 100 megabytes. And CDs were coming out. And I'm like, who wants 100 megabyte floppy drive? So I didn't do it. And he was right.
For a time, he was right. Yeah, but they didn't last all that long
No, but I could have made huge money. I mean, at the point that he was telling me about, I was in the computer industry and didn't know who iOmega was. That's how early it was.
Oh, I see.
And
they did have the advantage of being able to read and write, though, right? That's the other thing too, is that a CD you write at once. And also, when CDs came out, they were fairly expensive.
Oh, they were very expensive. I paid $500 for my first CD-ROM drive.
Well, not only that, the media was I think when I started burning CDs, I was paying $5 a disc for the Maxell 650 meg ones that came in the little golden box.
Yeah. So the guy who built my computer, his good friend, and I'm trying to remember his name, not that it matters, but he was making a shareware CD that was selling for $90. And it was just full of shareware, which is, free. But he was kind enough to get me a copy of it and throw it in with my computer so I could actually have a disc. And then that 5-foot 10-pack came out,
Yep.
where you got 10 discs, and Doom. It was a trial version of Doom, or the shareware version of Doom, was the big ticket there, and I want to say that was like $60. But yeah, I could have made big money, and then I don't know, it was probably a year later, we were talking about how I screwed up and didn't buy the stock, and he was telling me that years prior he had a conversation with my father, his brother, and told him to buy Xerox. But my dad didn't.
I say this with all love and just as a joke. Oh, so you come from a long line of idiots.
Yes, absolutely. Mainly when it comes to the stock market and money.
Well, I come by it honestly.
John Clark said then the super floppy drive came out and held like 120 meg, I think. Yeah, and then iOmega went back and did the 250s. And there was
then the Jazz drive.
Jazz
was
drive.
1
That
gig.
was what, a gig?
Yep.
Now I didn't get on board with that. I got on board with the Easy 135. Who was that made that? Which I still have some of those, but that was actually a hard drive cassette. Like you'd stick that in like a big floppy, but it was actually a hard disk. So Zip, Jazz, and Ditto. Now Ditto was their portable one, wasn't it? Or was that something different? Chris Lane has said, have you heard about FTX? Yeah, that guy got me for about $4 billion, but I'll probably never get it back. So
Don't you hate when that happens?
So I don't dabble in cryptocurrencies either. I did a little bit when the Doge was when it was going to erupt, because Daddy
I have
Musk
to flip my mic up for a second. I'm still listening. I just can't talk for a sec.
Yeah, Daddy Musk was going to promote Doge, and it was going to take off, and it was going to be great, and it got up to like what, 70 cents, which is when Xander bought $20 worth, and now it's 8 cents. But I have 17 million Shiba Inu coin, which is like another meme coin, but it has actually increased in value in the past few days. So someday I will be rich, and I will make fun of all of you because I am rich. In fact, it went up enough last night. I have 17 million. I want to buy 3 million more, so it's an even 20 million. And last night I looked at it, and I put in to buy 3 million, and it was dead on $30, and that should have been an omen to buy it. I mean, at the point that you buy 3 million coin for exactly $30, and I'm OCD, it was like, yeah, but I didn't have my payment information and stuff, and I thought, I'll do it tomorrow. Woke up this morning, 3 million SHIB was $35, which I realize it's just $5, but that's how much it went up overnight. So Chris Lane said, I got lucky on a few penny stocks a few times. As soon as they went up a bit, sold, then they'd crash. So my next door neighbor got on the penny stock train and was up $90,000, and he took his initial investment back out and was moving some stuff around or whatever, and pretty much lost every bit of it. So he said when he got it to 150,000, he was going to go buy himself a new boat, and it crashed, and he lost. He didn't lose everything. He got his initial investment back, but I don't know. It's always risky, and like I have a very addictive personality. So like when I first bought crypto, I was in that thing every 10 minutes looking to see what it was doing, like, and then it would go down. Now we're talking like 5 zeros and a 1. And it would go down. I'd be like, no, and I was up for a while. I was up, I think I have less than $100 invested in it. And it was up to like $1,400 at one point. And I was kind of panicky about it. And the wife said, don't, just leave it alone. Just leave it be. And I'm like, okay. And now it's worth about $200. So I've still made money, but not as much as I would have if I would have sold it at 1,400. But then if I would have sold it at 1,400, it would have like skyrocketed overnight and been, worth $17 million. So, John Clark said, "Yeah, I'm waiting to break even on the old Doge." Yeah, I bought it at like 36 cents, and Xander bought it at 70. So, and really, I mean, I bought Xander's as he's like, I want to get some, like $20 worth, and I'm like, all right, I'll buy you $20 worth. But we just need to hear if Glenn is selling, we know to buy. That's pretty much the way it works. Yeah.
That's
just
the way
no
it
different than
is.
playing the slot machine. Just one more coin, and then it takes all your money.
The first time Kay and I ever went to a casino, I went in with $20 and I tripled my money. And I pulled it out, but I had tripled my money in like, I'm trying to think of how long we were there for, like 10, 15 minutes. And she's like, "Oh, come on, like we're just getting started here." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." And she's like, "No, like you got to keep going. Look at how well you're doing." Lost it all and was so mad at her.
Never go into a casino with more money than you plan to leave behind.
And that's the thing. I was fine losing it. I wasn't worried about, but like I had made the decision, like, okay, I got lucky. I'm not going to continue to get lucky. So
I went to an Indian casino in Wisconsin. I'm trying to remember the name of the town. I'm from Minnesota originally, and I was up visiting friends and relatives, and we took a trip over to Something Falls, Wisconsin, if anybody cares. And we went in, and my cousin Troy convinced me to hit the blackjack table, Wisconsin. And I ended up making about almost $450 playing blackjack. And I'd never played blackjack before, like maybe on computer games or whatever, but never, actually played blackjack. So I was feeling pretty good about that. Now he was actually up at one point, and I don't remember how much. I'm just gonna say arbitrarily he was up like $500 and bet it all on one hand and lost it all because he didn't care. Like he had earned it, and then like he didn't care enough to keep it. And I'm like, nope, I'm taking my $450. But like sitting at a slot machine, I'll run the bucket out. Like,
yep.
It's when I was in Vegas, I've only been to Vegas one time ever, and that was for my sister's wedding. And it wasn't like that kind of Vegas wedding. It was a nice wedding at a resort. It wasn't like the Elvis Chapel. No offense to anybody that got married in the Elvis Chapel. But Grisilla does not gamble. And we were walking through the casino, and so like she had just put $1 in the machine or whatever, and like won like enough money that she had to wait for somebody to come and give it to her. I don't even remember how much it was, but like she had to wait for somebody to bring her the winnings. and then I'm like, holy crap. And she's like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, what?
How?
John said I can be the Kramer of crypto. No, it's I don't know. I've never really studied. Well, I'm terrible with money. I'm just terrible with money. But I never studied stocks, and even I had no idea even how to buy any of that until I started looking into crypto. The first time that I had heard of Bitcoin, a guy tried to convince me to buy into Bitcoin at $600 a coin. And I didn't do it because I couldn't afford $600. You couldn't buy partial coins back then. I couldn't. I mean, like I had a family to feed. I couldn't shell out $600 on a gamble. Yep, I'd be rich now. I guess not really rich. I mean, it would only be one coin, but what is Bitcoin sitting at right now? $22,000, almost $23,000.
I will say that when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was below $100 a coin. A buddy of mine was mining it and recommended I start mining it too. And that was back when GPU mining was still like feasible. It was before SOC or not SOC, or is it SOC?
SEC.
Whatever the dedicated chips that are just meant to crack that algorithm.
Oh, okay. I don't know, but yeah.
So I started mining, and then this company, Butterfly Labs, announced that they were going to be releasing the first processors that were specifically designed to run and generate, like run through the Bitcoin stuff. So we're going to go from 130 mega hashes on my GPU to 4.5 giga hashes. So I invested in one, and I got it, and I started mining, and I mined a few like full blown Bitcoins, and I should have kept going, and then they hit $1,000 a Bitcoin, and I sold all but like 0.2 of them, and so it ended up paying for my mining stuff 10 times over. But if I had held on to it at its peak, I would have paid off my house.
Right.
And if I had kept mining at that point, I would have probably had enough to make a go of Print and Play being a full blown business. And then losing it all because nobody likes my stuff. But
speaking of nobody liking your stuff, I'm at 417 subscribers over on the Garage channel.
And wow, all that with no content.
Without making any content, yeah.
Yep.
So
I brought over I need a second mouse, and I brought over my trackball, and either I put the wrong dongle back in with it, in which
dongle, that's a fun word.
Yeah, dongle, or the batteries are dead in it. But I have this like sneaking suspicion because I didn't use it a ton and it's been turned off, that I put the wrong dongle with it. Now I'm never, because like so many of those dongles just look exactly the same. So
I just wonder how many times you're going to say dongle.
dongle, man.
Mad Mike said, I didn't know you had a different channel. Are you being serious? I don't know who knows and who doesn't, but I have Fun King Garage.
So Mike's been out of the loop with our stuff for a bit.
Out of the loop for a bit. Yep.
Yeah. So he very well may not know that you started Fun King OnlyFans after dark.
That's right. OnlyFans. That's all I sell.
If you pay for your subscription today, you can see his third nipple tomorrow.
But it's like over here. So yeah, I started Fun King Garage a little over a year ago now. Actually, well over a year ago now that I say that. We produced one video and didn't produce another video for 9 months. And that one video that I produced has done exceptionally well for what it is. It was replacing the intake plenum on Xander's 2006 Nissan Maxima. But we reorganized and figured some stuff out. That was when Sean was here, and he started to Mark said no, just no. He doesn't want to see my third nipple. Sean was doing some editing and stuff for me. So the first of the Fummin series, the videos are like very professionally edited and they're magnificent. And then he got a job and moved away from here, and I went to editing my own just because he didn't have the time to do it anymore. So they are definitely not professionally edited anymore, which at first I didn't like. And then I realized it doesn't matter. It's me. It's the raw me, and it's just the way that it's got to be. So,
I just pulled on a random USB cable, and guess what? Extra mouse.
So, but yeah, YouTube.com/Fun King Garage. There's 2 G's in there, Fun King, and then Garage, no spaces, of course. So that's really my main channel now. That's where all of my love and attention goes. Being that the only thing I do on this channel anymore is these live streams. Though we are still working on getting Zach in here to do Xander Sing Thursdays. So he just, he got a phone for Christmas. That was a dumb choice. Dumb choice. So he's on that thing like all the time. But yeah, we get him on here, and then I can stop making 3D printing content at all, and then it'll just be Zach's channel. Mike said I should do my 75 Jeep stuff or the T-Bucket. Listen, I mean, honestly, if you can swing the time for the editing side of it, and even then, like, you don't have to get fancy. Like, there's a lot of channels that do really well that they just do it. You know, they just put it out there. But if you're already doing the work or whatever, you know, if you're a woodworker or if you knit, it doesn't even matter. If you're already doing it and you can be somewhat entertaining, because if you're not entertaining, then it just won't go anywhere. But then, yeah, I mean, give it a try. Just be forewarned, it is a rabbit hole of buying cameras and buying lighting and buying microphones and buying more cameras for more camera angles and being sad that you don't have somebody else to move the camera around while you're working. And, you know, so there's some of that stuff too. But
we never covered Uncle Ron's project.
no, I said I was going to save it for when we actually have that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about later. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, we have no structure for tonight. Tonight is like a regular off the rails stream. But yeah, I'm thinking we should do those like right in the middle of the stream.
Yep.
That way everybody has a chance to get here and nobody's left yet. So, but seriously, Mike, if you ever decide to do that, if your leg heals, and I hope it does for you, and you decide you want to do that and you ever want pointers, James and I can give you, I mean, not like we're these amazing big time YouTube, but I've learned so much from doing it over the last, 6 years.
Mostly how not to do it, but that's okay.
Exactly. I mean, mistakes were made. And absolutely positively the main piece of advice that I can give you is just make content, from a guy who doesn't make content. Don't over stress about like how you're going to make it and is it going to be just start making content. That's I mean, that's the biggest thing. But the other thing is get your subscribers organically. Like, don't even to get, and I don't even know, I don't think you need the 100 anymore to secure your channel name. I think because of these recent changes, as soon as you have a channel, you can put a channel name on it.
Can you? I haven't followed it.
Did you not get your at?
I did get my ad. I just haven't been reading it. Oh, here's the other thing. It popped up saying, "Hey, you have to accept the new terms of service to keep keeping the
money."
Yeah, and I clicked accept, and it just wouldn't take it. Now it says that I haven't accepted, but I can't find where to go to accept it again. Because it just popped up in YouTube Studio.
You should have gotten an email.
I probably got an
email with that information. The main difference on it is that because now you can monetize shorts. You can monetize your shorts.
Right.
It's great because I always wear these cargo shorts. And, but yeah, like, you know, there was always that struggle in the beginning to get that first 100 so that you could secure your channel name, which is super important so that, you know, somebody else doesn't get there before you. And then, of course, the 1,000 so that you can monetize, which, I mean, James is there now with his secondary channel because he's a baller.
I just don't have the view time for it.
Right. That's the one that hurts, is trying to get that view time up. But let that initial 100, let that happen organically, because what happens is you ask your friends and, you know, you're like, hey, can you just go subscribe to my channel? I just need to hit 100. I can secure my name and then you can unsubscribe. Well, they don't. They leave it and it just sits there. And then you have subscribers, but you're not getting any watchers, and it hurts your analytics. It hurts the algorithm. So definitely just let it happen as organically as possible, and absolutely don't get discouraged. I mean, when I first started the Garage channel and it was growing so terribly slow, you know, I was getting like 1 subscriber a month. And it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. But now I average like pretty much 1 a day on average now. And it's just wonderful. And the conversations that I've had with people through the comments and stuff has been super cool. Like when people say like, you know, oh yeah, your videos have really inspired me to go and do this or whatever. Those are the fun ones. The ones that I really love though are the ones that people tell you what the problem is, and you can tell that they're not even through the video yet because I've already solved it. But Adam says, I hate shorts. Seems like every streaming service had to jump on the TikTok trend. Well, and that's exactly what happens is when one thing gets super popular, then everybody else has to try it. But I'm going to tell you, here's the key, because TikTok is evil. More and more, and I mean, those of you who are in IT will probably be nodding your head in agreement. But like my news feeds and stuff are very catered to me, so I get a lot of, you know, security updates and stuff through my news feeds. All of the different, you know, LastPass getting hacked, you know, and all that stuff is constantly just bombarding me. And more and more trend now, like the government saying absolutely no TikTok on government devices. The colleges, absolutely no TikTok on any college owned devices, and they are encouraging the students to not get onto TikTok because of the privacy breach is really what it comes down to. I mean, it is nothing more than a data farm. So I say that because if all goes well, TikTok is going to die. And hopefully it's a severely painful death when it happens. And then those people are going to need to go somewhere else. And that everybody is just getting in line to be what they hope will be the next.
And what you're hoping is that they'll end up at Funkin' Garage.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. No, I mean, like the people that make TikTok videos. Like, I don't have TikTok. TikTok is blocked from my network. If you go to TikTok on my network, it just gives you like it doesn't exist. It's just not there because I have children, and so TikTok is a no-no. But I see things from TikTok on Facebook and Insties, which is pretty much the same thing, same company. But most of it makes me just want to punch myself in the face. Do we really live in a world that is so full of stupidity?
Well, I mean, if TikTok makes you want to punch yourself in the face, maybe it's not all that bad.
It's not per se TikTok. It's the people
on TikTok. I've seen some stuff that I appreciate and find funny that comes from TikTok.
Sure.
I ended up, because TikTok was like the media game, and I haven't been using it much lately. I ended up just taking one of my old phones, and literally the only thing that's on it is TikTok. Right, so I edit stuff, I copy it to the phone, and then I upload it from there, and then they can't get access to anything other than, I don't know, maybe some information about my Wi-Fi, but you know, there's no pictures, there's no personal contact, there's no banking, there's no.
Keep telling yourself that.
If they're gonna get information out of me, then they're at the point now where they wouldn't need me to have TikTok installed to be able to do it.
They've already infiltrated your network.
Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, because I mean, people will share stuff off of you know, TikTok onto Facebook or onto a reel on Instagram or whatever. And I don't know. There's just, and we won't get into specifics, but it just, a lot of it makes me cringe. It makes me really sad for the world. And I'm old. You know, I'm 50 years old. I think I've adapted fairly well to today's times. You know, like.
Yep.
I just, I'm sad. I'm sad for my children. I think the most, because even Xander realizes that his generation is a complete waste of human flesh. Like, there's just no way around it. And the fact that these kids live their life like this, it absolutely reminds me of the movie WALL-E. If you've never seen WALL-E,
Wally.
yeah, that's Eve. That movie is it started as a comedy and is now a documentary, as well as the movie Idiocracy. So that's the two movies I'm going to give you to go watch if you've never seen them: WALL-E and Idiocracy. The first time I watched Idiocracy, I thought that was just
You said
one of the.
Idiocracy, my brain thought Multiplicity.
Oh no, Idiocracy. It made me laugh so hard, it was so funny, and then I didn't
No,
see
it
it
just
again
makes you
because
sad.
it's an older movie, right?
Yeah.
2006. So we were already venturing into trouble, but but it has electrolytes, exactly. I mean, Terry Crews is the president.
I like Terry Crews.
But yeah, you watch it now and it's absolutely a documentary. They didn't make that movie so that we could do that stuff, you know. So Adam says, speaking of data mining, I had a family post a thing on Facebook that said, "I bet no one knows my birthday, favorite color, where I was born." I love those. I love those. Because my family will respond to those, and I just like immediately start sending DMs to delete that crap. Like, yeah, why not just give up everything that you could possibly use for security, you know, so that they can hack into your bank account?
My favorite is the family members and relatives and stuff that somebody goes and makes a copy of their Facebook account. They just take their picture and they make another ring, and then they post, "Attention, everybody! I've been hacked."
I've been hacked.
Yeah, and it's like, nope. And the other one is the "Attention, Facebook! I do not give permission to use my pictures and contact information." Blah blah blah. And I tried to explain to my mom.
Take this post as a legal agreement that I do not permit
Yeah.
you to use my photo.
So I was talking to my mom about it one day, and she, you know, she's like, "Well, I just don't want them using my stuff." And I'm like, whatever they're going to use, you agree to by using their service. You don't get to sign up for their service and then dictate new terms to them about how they're going to use your data.
Yeah, you agreed as soon as you created your account, and you know, every time that there's an update, and you're like, "Yep," because if you say nope, then you just don't get to use it.
Yeah, that is the. It's like driving and being like, "Attention, police officers! I do not give you consent to pull me over if I'm speeding." It's like, oh, got him.
Right? Does that work? Because
Just gonna write my own rules.
I give my wife just mad props because after the election,
Holy cow! It's past 9 o'clock already. Did you realize?
Yeah, I know. But after our last election, you know, here in the United States, the amount of hate was just getting to be so much that she just decided she had had enough and completely turned off Facebook. She deactivated her account, and like she was heavy into, like, she got heavy into Facebook starting way back in the what was it, farm
Yeah, Farmville.
There you go. I was going to say something not appropriate.
I honestly don't know what you were going to say. I'm disappointed in myself for not knowing.
But anyway, so but yeah, so like she started way back then, and I only signed up to Facebook to know like what she had going on, because like all the different events and stuff, like we used that kind of as our
you're
family
stalking
calendar.
your wife. Got it.
Right. Yeah, that was my legal way of stalking her. Right. But yeah, and she just like was done. And
to be fair, it's like, without getting too deep into political and just making a generalized statement, the us against them attitude that's spread out and it's not just the States, it's in Canada and stuff like that. It's like,
oh, it's worldwide.
Yeah. It's like, if you're on the other side, then it's, and the number of statements I said, like all the lefties or all the righties, and it's like the fact that we can just generalize people based on stuff. It's like, anyways.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a conversation that you and I have had in private too. Like, I mean, we can't do politics on Facebook. Somebody's going to get or on Facebook, on YouTube, somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. And, we don't want to isolate any of you guys that made the wrong choice.
Which is funny because you and I are on mostly opposite sides. So
yeah. And I mean, we've told that story that we both lean in complete opposite directions. I mean, and we're fine. But I can be that way with anybody. I can have a conversation about anything with anybody and not go away mad. So
I also respect there is somebody in the community that politics started coming up, and he said to me, "You and I shouldn't have this conversation because I'm not the type of person that walks away from these things. Okay, so it's better us not to discuss." And it's like, you know what? Fair enough. If you know that we're not going to be able to have a civil conversation, but you can be civil enough to say we shouldn't have this conversation, then good. You gave me the warning. We stop. If I continue talking, then that's on me.
Yeah. Chris said, I just want Teddy Roosevelt back. I'm sorry, Chris, but he would be so stinky by this point. Well, you got anything that you want to promote?
No. I will have a new video out in the next couple of weeks. It is half filmed. The construction phase of the project is filmed. I need to do the showing it off phase, which I've been working on. This whole area behind my monitor and all the other stuff has been transformed for what I'm going to be doing.
Is it more than meets the eyes?
That joke was so bad it was an Optimus crime.
I know, I kind of bumblebeed through it. So anyway, I was hoping to have a video out tomorrow, but because of my workload this week, I did not get to finish editing it. So I will push for next week. As a reminder, there is no stream on Sunday. No streams on Sunday.
Most likely ever again.
Well, who knows? Who knows? One part of me is kind of sad about it, and the other part of me is super excited about it because it gives me more of my weekend time back. But we will do this again next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which we determined was what, midnight GMT, right?
Yep.
Again, my apologies to the guys on the other side of the pond. You can always watch the replay. If anybody out there, if this particular scheduling doesn't work well for you, you are welcome to send me an email at Glenn with 2 N's, Glenn, at funking3d.com and let us know, one, that it doesn't work for you, and two, if there's a time that would work better. Woodworking. Adam said y'all's jokes make me star scream. So anyway, we will do this again next Thursday. We want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Whether you watch it live or you watch it on the replay, it is always, always super appreciated. It does always help the channel. If you haven't yet done so, I'd love for you to hit that thumbs up because that makes me warm and fuzzy inside. And if you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for?
Christmas?
I mean, to the Garage channel, not to this one. I don't care.
Yeah, when's the last time you released content on here?
Oh, it's been a long time. I've actually filmed content for this channel and haven't released it. So, but that's fine. It's fine. We love each and every one of you, and we will see you next Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Eastern Seaboard. And good night. Oh, wait. See y'all later. Until next time, as always, Print on.